Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right. Here to go good. Dang, missed. All right. Shalom. I want to begin a camp lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akakadash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Back out here with another camp lesson through the Spirit. It's going to be a typical camp lesson I'm going to be doing today. Go through the events that's happened in the news and whatnot this past week. Bring out a few scriptures regarding that. I should have left this coat, this jacket in my car because it's starting to get hot again. But it's all good. So, and we got a lot of news to talk about as well that happened and took place this week. But I'm gonna pull these scriptures out through the Spirit as best as I can, edify you all out there listening and watching. Lord willing, it'll be edifying to you all out there listening and watching. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, it's a lot. Been a lot of chaos going on, man. Last night there was a plane crash that happened in Philadelphia, which I did a lesson on that last night, and I want to show you all the video regarding that to start.
Getting initial reports of a plane crash in Northeast Philadelphia. Take a look. This is ring camera sent into Fox 29 Philadelphia. I'm going to loop this a few times. Look at how quickly this thing hits the ground, and then the explosion afterwards. We're hearing that it smells like jet fuel in the area, and that there are pieces of airplanes scattered around the area of the Roosevelt Mall, according to Fox 29's Steve Keeley. Very little information out there at this point. This just happened within the past hour. We're going to keep you.
You see how big that crash was, or that explosion, man? It almost looked like a missile hit them buildings. There wasn't that many people in the plane, but they saying that the death toll has risen since last night, and the amount of people that's been injured. And then on top of that, you have the plane crash, which is the most deadliest plane crash in like the last decade or two in United States history, with that Black Hawk crashing into that American Airlines flight right over DC. And I had a video from that as well.
These videos obtained exclusively by CNN show previously unseen angles of the collision between an American Airlines flight and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. In the first video, the Black Hawk can be seen flying at speed over the Potomac from the left side of the screen. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river.
So Lord willing, y'all can see that. I'm not sure because the sun is beaming right now, but I'll go back and look and see if y'all can, Lord willing. And if not, then I'll just end up posting it or something like that, which I already posted that first video, the Philadelphia crash. But that second one with the Black Hawk and whatnot, it's a lot of stuff like coming out about that, you know, that Black Hawk was flying higher than it was supposed to be flying. And Black Hawks are typically known for flying around that area, around the Potomac River. So they're known for being around that area, flying around 200 to 250 feet above sea level. This one was flying like over 300 to like 400 feet above sea level, which is why, you know, a lot of people along with myself think this might have been a psyop. Not too sure though, but all in all, it's just judgment from the Lord. So I want to get this to start off. This is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 1. Let me read. Let me see the heading. Woe to Jerusalem and the nations. And it reads, woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction. She trusted not in Yahweh. She drew not near to her God. And that's talking about Jerusalem, the her. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. So we see that going on a lot in the churches and whatnot. The just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. He will not do iniquity. Goodness. It's a lot. The just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So every day, man, the Lord brings forth judgment. Whether it be in a mass casualty like this plane crash and the helicopter crash, where you have 60-some people that deceased, or whether it be something small like this second crash where only about 2 to 7 people perish. It doesn't matter, man. When it's your time, it's your time. And goodness, a brother brought out a good precept. The water you have about shit now, shot. That backstab, man. Let me see. I think it was Ecclesiastes 5 and 7. Come. Let me get into good news. As well. Make no tarrying. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. So it's not a good thing to play around with the Lord, man. We as we all know, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You don't want to, especially in these days and times that we're in now, drag your feet when it comes to taking heed to this word, man, to this truth. Because, like we just read, man, it could be your day. Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. We know that riches will not save you in the day of calamity, man. In the day of wrath. Salakia. I finally remembered to bring my water this week, because this cottonmouth is kicking in quick. The water, how about your mouth shot? Damn, fucked up air, man. Babylon the Great. So let me get that in the good news. I should have read verse 6 first. So like, I'm gonna reread that. Starting at verse 5. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin, and say not his mercy is great. He will pacify for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resetteth upon sinners, as well as vengeance, man. As it reads in the scripture, the Lord will repay. Make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth. And if thy security thou shalt, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So like it reads in that book of Ecclesiastes as well. You gain all these goods and riches, man, just to not be able to take it to the afterlife. So what is the point of doing all that shit, man? Like King Solomon said, it's just vanity. It'd be better off if you're trying to do something or gain something in a righteous sake, as doing the will of the Lord, man, rather than to prosper on the wicked, on the side of wickedness, or on the left hand side. So this is verse 5 in the GNT. Don't be so certain of Yahweh's forgiveness that you go on committing one sin after another. So I can recall this I can't even say she was a nigger woman. I can't remember her ethnicity or whatnot, or what nation she was from. But I can recall seeing this woman on TikTok a while back, and she had in her bio, man, Jesus died for our sins, so sin as much as you can, or some shit, man. Something really ridiculous and just sottish. And I just thought to myself, so this is verse 6. Don't think that his mercy is so great that he will forgive your sins, no matter how many they are. He does show mercy, but he also shows his furious anger with sinners. Come on, man. As it reads, man, don't worry about how the unjust will be punished, because the Lord's gonna handle them accordingly. For instance, judgment. You never know when you never know when it's gonna be your time, man. Come back to Yahweh quickly. Don't think that you can keep putting it off. His anger can come upon you suddenly, and you will die under his punishment. Don't rely on dishonest wealth. It will do no good on that day of disaster. Sincerity and self-control. So all of these things that people try and do or make important in this life or in this world, it's not important to the Lord. And quite frankly, it's not important to us. All of these materialistic things, like the brother said, when the day of calamity comes, or when the day of trouble comes, you're gonna have to leave all that shit behind, man. You gotta be able to just be okay with leaving all of this behind, because this world is sure to pass away. You know what I'm saying? The fashions of this world are sure to pass away. So you can't be too attached to these materialistic things, man. In the end, you can't take it to the spiritual realm. You're leaving it behind with somebody you don't know is gonna do. You don't know what they're gonna do with those things, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter what you gain in this world, as long as you're doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. That's the most important thing to us, and the most important thing to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man. You know, fear the Lord and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. But hey, the wicked don't understand that, so they're gonna have to learn it through death by pain. So now that I got them points, bring it back. So yeah, that Black Hawk helicopter crash in DC had the Philadelphia plane was crashed into a building last night. Trump's tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada are set to start today, as in February 1st today. And Trump has signed off a lot of executive orders this past week, and really since he's been in office. He started to increase it, man. He's done exactly what he said he's gonna do when he comes to office. racking them up, left and right, left and right. I did a lesson on that as well earlier this week, and I'm not gonna be able to name off every single one off the top of my head, but I'll try and hit on some that I can recall. I know for sure that he got rid of a lot of these LG or Salaki ABC people rights, trying to get them out of the military and whatnot, and then also banning sex changes, you know what I'm saying, prior to turning the age of 19. But that's just like little shit. That's stuff that don't matter, right? Things that matter to these people that are living in this, that are drunk off of this Babylonian Kool-Aid, so to speak. But one thing he did do though was he froze all loans, so like all federal loans. So anybody that's really benefiting or living off of government support, like Section 8 welfare, EBT, things like that, Medicaid, what else? Basically things like that. He froze that. And when he did that, a lot of people were in an uproar. They were mad regarding that. No. And the reasoning behind that, like I said, I felt like that was going to be something that's temporary for right now at least. But the reason why he ended up doing that was they have to account for $1.3 trillion that the Biden administration so-called misplaced, right? So he's trying to see where all of these tax payers, like all the tax dollars are being spent and whatnot through the U.S. citizens, right? So that's another reason for his tariffs. He's trying to put tariffs on these countries, make them pay X amount of dollars for the goods that they export into the United States to possibly get them to either build factories over here or reduce the taxes to the people or whatnot. But that's more so going to benefit the rich, in my opinion, and other people's opinions. Another thing that happened, you had the Trump Iron Dome. He's talking about building an Iron Dome as an aerial defense in the event any like nuclear attacks or any nuclear attacks really, or any missile attacks, so to speak. In a second, I'm about to get my sunglasses, man, because I honestly cannot see. It's just too bright. And then also Trump fired a whole bunch of FBI agents, especially the ones that were trying to get him indicted on those charges that he caught and whatnot, right? So I'm about to go try and run and get these glasses real quick. So like, bear with me. All right, so lucky for that. Should have grabbed these before. I didn't think it's gonna be this damn sunny. But back to Trump. He also, I'm pretty sure he fired like all IRS workers as well. Like everyone that was in the IRS, he fired all of them. Right? Goodness. Okay. He's also threatened to put 100% tariffs on the BRICS countries if they try and start their own dollar and, you know, denounce the US dollar. In the same breath though, right? The BRICS the BRICS nations have already done away with the dollar, right? It comes from de-dollarization, okay? The BRICS nations, they already have said they don't want to use the dollar, the U.S. dollar as the federal trading coin, so to speak, or as the petrodollar. That's happened. That started that in like 2023. Last year they announced they wanted to do, you know what I'm saying, a BRICS currency that's backed by gold and silver, which makes sense to me. The United States dollar is a piece of paper, right? That's not backed by anything. It doesn't have any value. And the more and more they print money, the less and less the value is going, you know, and the more and more the value is going to go down, so to speak. Right? So he's threatening to put 100% tariffs on those nations. And he already threatened Russia as well to try and get Russia out of the, or to try and stop the Ukrainian-Russian war, right? Let me think. There's some other things that he did as well. Oh yeah. Well, we already know about deportation and whatnot. You know, that's been, goodness, that girl coughing. That's been a thing as well. That's been his main thing, right? Is deporting these Mexicans and whatnot. He's also trying to deport Native Americans, which I don't understand how you could do that. They were on that land before y'all got there, right? And unless, like Apostle Tahar said right before my lesson I did, or before this camp lesson, Salaki, when I was listening to their lesson, their camp, unless you're gonna deport them back to the Holy Land, Israel, where are they gonna go, all right? So Esau Edom, man, I don't know. They coming down. Trump's gonna keep on coming down hard. Lord willing, keep on pushing these things. And hey, Lord willing, it keeps on increasing. Hopefully these things lead to something, man. Ultimately is what we hoping and praying for. We ready to get up out of this place. We ready for Jacob's trouble to take place. You have a lot of Jakes that are scared or don't want it to take place, right? Because they don't want to go through shit. They're soft. They don't want to experience no type of tribulation. But at the same time, right, you can't get to the kingdom of heaven without Jacob's trouble. So all these people saying that Jacob's trouble is not going to happen, it already happened. We're not going to see a time worse than slavery or whatnot. Complete and utter fools, right? So Trump has not been missing with bringing these decrees, right? And another thing with that helicopter crash, he blamed that on DEI, right? We know that he got rid of that as well. DEI, there is no more Black History Month. All of these other months that highlight ethnic groups, quote unquote, or minority groups, which we never really cared. We never cared about Black History Month, no ways. Black is a degrading term, right? Meaning void of light, you know. It's just a very ugly term. Stupid, all types of things, man. Which the elder Malcolm does a good job of highlighting that. Also, I forgot, this is a good one. He has a facility where he's gonna send 30,000 of these illegal immigrants, the ones that are criminals, right? The ones that are real bad, bringing drugs into the United States and whatnot. He has a place in Guantanamo Bay that he wants to send them. That's gonna hold 30,000 migrants, right? He's gonna send them there. You also have the Mexican cartel preparing for a war with the United States, you know what I'm saying? The soldiers that are on the border, the people that are on the border. So, okay. And more and more, Esau Edom is starting to get exposed, man. Day by day, they're starting to get exposed. So I want to grab this. more and more, like I say, man, y'all gonna see the true colors of these Edomites. They don't fuck with you, Jake. They do not fuck with you. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 10, and it reads, the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can shoot the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asks such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can shew it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. Right? So this king, Nebuchadnezzar, was so furious, right, that no one could interpret his dreams. All the people he called magicians, astrologers, wise men, so to speak, they couldn't interpret his dream, right? He was basically saying that you all should be able to interpret dreams, okay? Y'all are magicians or wise men, I shouldn't have to tell you. And they're saying, man, ain't nobody on the earth that can do that. The only person that can do that is the God up above, which is Yahweh. So he sought to destroy all the wise men out of Babylon. And the decree went forth, coming into the point, that the wise men should be slain. And they saw Daniel and his fellows to be slain. And here's the point. What up, Salakia? Coming down. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. So Daniel basically was asking, let's see what he said in the NLT. I'm going to just start from 12 and go down. The king was furious when he heard this, and he ordered that all the wise men of Babylon be executed. And because of the king's decree, men were sent to find and kill Daniel and his friends. When Arioch, the commander of the king's guard, came to kill them, Daniel handled the situation with wisdom and discretion, because the Spirit of the Lord was working with him, right? He asked Arioch, why has the king issued such a harsh decree? So Arioch told him all that had happened. So Donald Trump is starting to put on these draconian decrees, like I said in my previous lesson. These decrees are going to start getting more and more harsh. And ultimately, they're going to start targeting Jake, which will lead to, Lord willing, which will lead to Jacob's trouble. Or however it unfolds, right? All in all, just know this. Jake is about to be in some shit this year, Lord willing, man. Let me see this. Forgot they lied about fuck. Salakia. About the drones that were seen flying around the East Coast with Jersey and whatnot. And he said, and those drones he's talking about was terrorists, right? I've been saying this though. Esau Edom is running out of lives, man. Biden didn't want to acknowledge the drones, chariots. He didn't want to acknowledge them, right? He has to tell the American people something though, because they starting to get scared. So what they do, they change it from UFOs to UAPs. UAPs to drones. these things people are reporting are the size of cars, right? We know that these are the chariots of the Lord, and these people are getting scared. They literally seen something that looked like the Ezekiel's wheel, man. Which I seen it, I was like, damn, that's cool. And it was the point at the end of the year that the chariots were making themselves known, right? More and more people were seeing them. Then the sightings were increasing. You had a chariot flying through the Palisade fires, right? Ultimately taunting Esau Edom. So these people know that their time is coming to an end, man. Right? They can't fuck with the chariots of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They know this. They have to lie and tell the people these things because the masters don't know what the fuck it is. Now they thinking, oh, he said it wasn't another country who was doing these things. It was all the FAA, right? Bullshit. The wicked are strangers on the womb. They be born speaking lies, man. They be born speaking lies. You can't trust them. You gotta take what they say with a grain of salt. They've also developed a cancer. They've developed a cancer fadeaway, right? Fadeaway jump shot. Expert says that the bird flu outbreak is the worst in history. It's been affecting poultry, man. Second largest egg producer confirms bird flu outbreak. And these farmers, they starting to make these farmers more and more euthanize they ducks, euthanize they chickens, all this shit, man. Right? Let's get the scriptures. This is Luke 21 and verse 8, or Salaki, verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So let me get that word commotions, man. That explosion, you should have seen the people's reactions, man. They scared the shit out of people, right? That explosion in Philadelphia. And like I said, that thing was so big, it looked like a bomb went off, bro. Commotion, instability, a state of disorder, disturbance, confusion. That's why we believe that, you know, it might be a psyop. You have people. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Shalom. Brother Atazawan. Come. So you have, when these type of things happen in the world, you got to realize how the people are going to react. I've seen a video, I believe this is by GMS Watchmen, where you have people freaking out and whatnot, right? Because they don't know what's going on in the world. They use these psyops to see how people will react and whatnot. So, like I said, an explosion that big off of a plane, and then the fact that you have a Black Hawk crashing into a plane, that don't seem like a coincidence to me. So, but the way these people are reacting, man, if something really bad goes on, these people are going to lose their minds. So that's why I went into that word commotions, instability, a state of disorder, disturbance, or confusion. The people are confused. They don't know what's going on in the world, man. That's why Isaiah 33 and 6 says what it says, right? And actually, let me think. I'll get that after this. Verse 10, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, right? So you have in the DR Congo, you have a rebel war going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Sudan is still war going on. As I said before, they was suffering from famine. Through the Israel and Gaza ceasefire, or Hamas ceasefire, you still have, they're still striking each other. They slowly but surely, you know, releasing hostages, but they're still at war with each other. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. So let me get that real quick, man. You had a 5.6 magnitude earthquake in Taiwan. You had a 4.5 magnitude earthquake outside of San Antonio, which is uncommon for Texas to receive earthquakes, man, right? And we're seeing more and more of these earthquakes start to come upon the earth. All of these things that's going on is signs from the heavens that we're in the latter days, man. We're in the last days, right? And famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So, pestilence, it doesn't always have to be a sickness, but I'll give an example, right? You have the largest outbreak of tuberculosis in U.S. history happening in Kansas, right? 2 people dead, 146 were affected by it. I believe they might have been hospitalized or something like that. But things like that, these things that are going to continue to come upon the earth, it's not a coincidence. There's a reason why these things keep on increasing, man. The Lord is sending the plagues. He's sending death and destruction upon the earth because we're coming into a time of judgment, especially on Babylon the Great, America. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and to prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So ultimately, that's talking about prophets of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, because we know eventually they're going to try and round us up, man. All of this truth is coming out about them. They don't want it to come out, even though Esau Edom is continually being exposed daily, using words like misinformation, disinformation, to stop the word from getting out. As the elders say, man, we not always going to be out here on the highways and byways prophesying and teaching, man. It's going to be a point where we're not going to be able to come out here. It's going to be a point where YouTube is going to be off the air. It's going to be a point where, hey, it's leading the famine of the word. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Come. So, let me see. Yeah, the doomsday clock was set to 89, which is at 89 seconds to midnight, right? Which is something that Esau Edom used to track the state of the world. Have things gotten better in the past year? Have things gotten worse in the past year? I did a lesson on that earlier this week. Yeah, Frontier grounding all their flights due to IT issues, and that happened from Thursday to Friday. And you have 30 dead and 60 injured in an Indian religious stampede, right? So like I've been saying, man, the Lord is going to continue to bring ultimate judgment upon the earth, man. You got to repent and turn to Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, man. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, 144. So this is Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. And it reads, shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh hath not done it? So if there's anything that goes on in the city, anything bad, right, it's all through the will of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, man. That's why I said judgment. The wicked do not understand judgment. Surely Yahweh the Most High Power will do nothing but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Those are the mighty men out here, you know what I'm saying, the men of GMS as well as the affiliates, pushing this truth. 100% truth, man. That's why we're able, you know what I'm saying, going on from our apostles on down to our elders, are able to see these things and move through the spirit, through the will of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be able to be revealed these things that are going on in the world and ultimately be in a state of I say peace through these times that are upon the world, man, because you have people literally losing their shit, man, because they don't know what's going on, right? Let me get that real quick. Isaiah 33 and 5, and it reads, Yahweh is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is treasure. So it's a good thing to fear the Lord, man. Yahweh Shem Al-Shah is a terrible, mighty power, man. And hey, you're gonna continue to see the wrath of the Lord unfold on the earth through all of the wickedness that's going on, right? So, the best thing you can do is fear the Lord. The Lord only asks for us to have the faith of a mustard seed. That's all he asks. Oh yeah, come. U.S. sent. Wait, Shalak. U.S. sends nuclear power subs to Guam, which is near China. So they sent some submarines over to Guam, which is where they do military stuff. I believe it's the most far base they have out west. And we know eventually through the scriptures that Russia and China are going to be those countries that come against America in battle, right? Yeah, man. So that's pretty much all I got as far as the news today or this week, Salakia. But I got some more things I want to pull out through the scriptures. And this is just a way to describe Second Ezra chapter 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. And that's ultimately what we're seeing on the earth, man. Like I've said before, if you can't see that we're in the latter days, ultimately the Spirit of the Lord is not working with you. Ever since 2020, things on the earth have gotten worse and worse, right? And Lord willing, man, it continue to get worse through Donald Trump, through these decrees that he's bringing. This is Daniel chapter 6 and verse 7. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Right? So that's talking about King Darius. And he basically, actually I want to read this in NLT and then break it down. We are all in agreement, we administrators, officials, high officers, advisors, and governors, that the king should make a law that will be strictly enforced. So Donald Trump, he's only been in office for what? Not even 2 weeks. And he's already picking up with these laws and these decrees that he's putting out, right? He's what's the word I want to use? Some of these older laws that he's had that have been in the United States, he's taken down. He started to create new ones. He's basically, like he said he's going to do, undoing all the things that the Biden administration has messed up. Give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except to you, your majesty, will be thrown into the den of lions. So Donald Trump, as well as Esau, even they have a spirit of pride that is unmeasured, right? These are the same people that, out of all the nations, they're the only people that covered the faces, you know what I'm saying, of Yahweh Shem Shai, of Yahweh Shai. They made Yahweh Shai into their own image, painted it their own image. You have no other nations that have even dared to do something like that. They have a strong spirit of pride on them, right? And they think that their kingdom is going to continue on and on forever. You know, you have Donald Trump saying that he's going to pass a law where he can have unlimited terms, right? Things like that. You have people literally praying to this man as if he's a god, exalting himself up. He's doing all of these things because the Lord has given him the power to do it through the left-hand side, through the side of wickedness. Not knowing that the Lord is allowing you to do these things, you don't really have no power, right? So things like that, more and more of these draconian decrees, as the elder brothers have said, are going to come to pass, man. I want to get Daniel 4 and 17 first. This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. And we know that Esau Edom is the basis of men, right? The Lord is saying that he literally set the lowliest of the low, the wild man, above the other nations, right? And if it wasn't for the will of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah, they wouldn't have that type of power, right? That's just showing that the Lord rules in the kingdom of men. Anything that goes on in the world is through the will of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah, whether it be on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. So these people on the left-hand side, they have an extreme amount of pride. And the Lord is ultimately going to humble them in the day of his wrath. He's going to bring them down. You know, those who exalt themselves up high. Which I want to get that as well. I believe this is my next precept. If not, I can find it. This is Daniel chapter 11 and verse 34. And it reads, now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. And some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for an appointed time, for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, right? So Donald Trump is coming. He's making crazy statements, crazy threats. I'm going to tax you. I'm going to put 100% tariffs on you if you don't do so and so, right? I'm going to, if you don't back out of this war, I'm going to put 100% tariffs on you. All of these different things, right? Withholding federal loans from people. And people were really messed up behind that, right? You have people online crying and whatnot. But it's the fact that he has that much power to where he can take it away from you just like that. Like I've said, what are you people gonna do that are living off of federal aid from the government? Y'all are completely dependent on that. But what's gonna happen when they take that away, right? That's when you hear the sorrows and whatnot coming, the weariness from the people. When the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. Which I'm gonna get that in a second, but the way he's able to implement something, snatch it away just like that. So, for instance, these tariffs that he has implemented today, February 1st, we're gonna see, right, the effects of that. People are saying, because this is mainly, I wanna say it's around 30 to 40% of tariffs. It's mainly because they're trying to, they want to pump oil through Alaska, right? We're going to see the effects of that. So you can see gas increasing, the price of gas increasing, right? The price of eggs, that's going to increase for sure. You have all these poultry, that's getting affected by this bird flu. That can lead to what? Famine. The storehouses shall be found empty, right? It's gonna be a higher commodity. Like I said, when I go into Publix most times and I look at the eggs, it's no eggs on the shelves. And those type of things are gonna increase, man. So with these tariffs, you might see an increase of the price of goods. It may be momentarily, it may be for a longer time. Right now, from what I'm hearing, it's gonna be momentarily because he's trying to basically figure out where that $1.3 trillion that just so happened to be misplaced went, right? How do you misplace that much amount of money? So I'm going to reread verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Right? So I want to read that in the NLT. The king will do as he pleases, exalting himself and claiming to be greater than every god, even blaspheming the God of gods. So his whole thing, right, has been America's about to come into a golden age, right? We're about to have the greatest 4 years in the history of this country. He's trying to make it to where he can get unlimited amount of terms. He's trying to send people back to their lands, deport the Israelites, right? Which is a part of Jake's suffering as well. Okay, trying to deport the Native Americans, which you're on their land as intruders. All of these things, man. He will succeed, but only until the time of wrath is completed. For what has been determined will surely take place, right? So it's only in his control until it's not in his control. Until the Lord, you know what I'm saying, wants him to not have no control over this, it's gonna be in his control. But until then, hey, when the shit hits the fan, when these perilous times come upon the earth, especially Babylon the Great, the Virgin, because nothing really bad has happened over here yet. These people are gonna lose their marbles, right? They're gonna lose their shit. I'm gonna get this. We haven't seen no type of affliction or anything bad happen to this country. 9/11 wasn't shit compared to what's about to happen, what's about to come upon the earth. Jake is really about to go through some trouble, man. It's called Jacob's trouble for a reason. This is Isaiah 65 and verse 13, and the point being in 14. Therefore thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You know what I'm saying? You will cry in sorrow and despair. The things of this world that you all cleave to, when those things get cut off, you all are gonna be in a spirit of despair, of weariness, right? Because that's all you've ever worked for in your life. Whether for instance, you have people like my mother getting ready to retire. I want to live my next life, right? Not knowing you're supposed to live day by day. There's no guarantee that you gonna be able to enjoy those things in the coming years, man. We don't know how much time we have left upon this earth, man, or the way of this life. We're looking to join Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in the kingdom of heaven and serve him with joyfulness, right? These people want to live in this world where they get to continually do wickedness and multiply sin on top of sin and not have no types of repercussions for that. Not knowing that all of your works are measured. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua sees that. Yahweh sees what you do on the earth, how you move, what you're doing. Are you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability? Are you serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua? Are you doing the will of the Lord? Or are you living completely wicked and using this world and abusing it, right? Those things, you're way for those things. Let me see if I can pull this up. These people don't understand it. It says in the scriptures, man, the unrighteous understand not judgment. So and as I read in Zephaniah in Zephaniah 3 and 5, man. The wicked knoweth no shame. Let me see if I can pull this up. I was just reading this scripture as well. It's in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 16. No, verse 15. Let's start there. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, the Most High Power shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. So the Lord is going to judge you for your works, how you live on the earth, man. And I'm gonna keep on saying the wicked knoweth no shame. They're gonna continue to do those wicked acts that they've been doing. So when the time of calamity comes, they're gonna be in the dark, right? As it reads, man. The men who have, let me not even paraphrase it. Let me just get it. Daniel 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine as bright as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. So in that time, man, the Lord is going to make the men that have been doing what they're supposed to do, serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. He's going to make them as bright as the firmament. He's going to make them as precious as fine gold, right? We're in a state now where people walk by us. They laugh at us. They scoff at us. They mock at us. Okay, that's fine. We'll take that. But just know, and I don't care. We can get called crazy, all of these things, right? But when that day of destruction comes that we've been saying was gonna come, when the calamity comes, everybody's gonna be looking for the men that have been saying it, man. The prophets of the Lord. So very soon, Lord willing, this year, we're gonna see a lot of scripts get flipped, a lot of positions, so to speak. The power dynamic is gonna completely switch, right? So let me see. Did I bring out the? No, I didn't. Okay. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 1. And this is going back to a point I made earlier. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So as I've been saying, more and more, you have people mourning. Like I said, my example. When Trump froze those accounts, the EBT, snaps, whatever, you have people online, on videos, literally crying, bawling their eyes out. I haven't ate in 3 days. I have to miss meals because my kids have to eat. All of these things. Now, of course, majority of these people are what? Single mothers, because ultimately we live in a matriarch where the woman gets and receives all the benefits. But at the same time, though, you have these women that are saying, I'm a single mother. I'm an independent woman. They don't need a man, right? And going back to my other example, the power dynamic is going to flip. All them people, I'm a single mother. I'm an independent woman, right? Going to be the same people. Isaiah 4:1. 7 women shall cling hold to one man, because they don't want to be single. They're going to want to be saved. Lord's gonna put a spirit on them to cling to the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. So if you're out here and hey, people are walking by you, you're not getting no attention from women, like myself, right now, don't worry. Lord's gonna give you women, and through you, they'll be saved, right? If you're doing what you're supposed to do. Right now, man, it's no point in messing with these women unless you already have a wife, because ultimately you should be focused on this. We're in a time, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man, as the scriptures read. It's gonna get real bad out here, man. Real bad. I want to get this real quick. Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? So, with all of these decrees that Donald Trump is making, you might, Lord willing, we see some type of rioting, rebellion, civil war, race wars, whatever, man. Because ultimately it could lead to that. These people could get fed up with the government and the policies that they're making. And hey, as it reads, the power's gonna stand in their hands, like I'm about to get to. Where there shall be sedition among men, meaning rebellion, right? And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So in that day, they're not gonna care what the punishment gonna be, right? They don't care if they potentially could get locked up. They're not gonna care, they're gonna be fed up. Like those CEOs, United Healthcare, Chase Bank. I believe that was Chase Bank. Chase or Citibank. Regardless, both of those executives were slain. CEO, VP. You could be sure there's gonna be more and more of those things coming on when we get deeper into this thing, man. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. For because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Like I said, Esau Edom has a extreme amount of pride, man. They don't think that their kingdom will ever come to end, right? That's not even a thought in their mind. America is the greatest country of all time, right? That's what they think to themselves. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So like I said, you have all of these ducks being euthanized. This poultry is getting affected by this bird, right? Eventually, which they've already made a jump shot for it, they're gonna have to get them to who? The farmers, the people that's gonna be more susceptible to catch it. Which they're saying it's not that serious among humans per se, but that's a pestilence that's affecting people, what they eat and whatnot. So that could lead to famine, man. You have more and more in the news, you have recalls on food and whatnot. 10,000 pounds of this was recalled because it was infected by E. coli. 20,000 pounds of this was, you get what I'm saying? So, and through that famine, people ain't ate 2-3 days. People ain't ate in a week. Just like in the movies, they gonna run up into your crib. They're gonna try and take your food. All of this stuff, man. So these things are sure to come upon the earth. It's just a matter of time, man. Right? So you gotta try and prepare yourself mentally, spiritually. Ask y'all about Shem Yahshua for it, and increase of faith in him, increase of fear, man, because ultimately, man, we're about to see some terrible times. So I'm gonna end it off with this precept. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So ultimately, all of these things that's going on in the world, whether it be judgment, destruction, death, anything, man, it's all through the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. So I'm gonna close it off there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. I'm gonna turn to the east, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom.